guess we're going for another one. So it would interact with itself. A single subatomic particle should be interacting with itself. Otherwise, it doesn't exist. Like, it still has a thermal and a momentum, meaning kinetic directionality. See, thermal is the wiggle jiggle spin thing that I talked about, but momentum is different. It's directionality of travel, which is the intrepedic version of both of those combined forces. All right, which are the Feynman's or whatever version of the infinitely stupidly thin, small individual screen frames that they use to measure mathematically what's likely to occur in a given, frame of reference point, moving on from one to the next and the next and the next, which I always felt like was rather good in a aspect of having to have someone conceptualize something so differently, but like it's also not necessarily accurate at all, because of course there's not necessarily noise. There is other interactive frames in a dimensionality aspect, meaning side to side, diagonally, and everything else that will 100% interact and cause those fluctuations to occur, and ultimately have it wiggle and jiggle and spin and move forward still roughly in a seemingly random pattern, like, but it's like, because it's not taking into account all of these other frames that are obviously there and obviously interacting and interfering and everything else with that wave fluctuation's path. So as a result, it means it looks random, but it's just not random. It's pseudo-random. And I think mathematicians here and scientists and quantum physicists would be able to understand what it is I'm saying when it comes down to that. It's the issue of, well, that's a lot to calculate for. And it's like, well, to a point. You have to remember you're using data set values, programming language math now. Like, it's this, and then this, and then this. So you add this with and multiply that way, and we know about these interactive blah, 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 blahs, and you run it forward. Like a neural network is what they'd probably say, but it's not a neural network. It's not weighted ideas. It's bell curves. It's if-then bell curves. I call it if-then bell curves because they're bell curves. There's a probabilistic bell curve factor that you go if then this, and then do that bell curve, and then you account for the various sections within the bell curves, which is categorization, specification, detailing, resolving, and filtration over time. Okay, and then you do if maybes, or maybe yes, maybe no, and then like that's also another version of programming.